Happy Monday, beautiful souls. This is Shmama Hunting Owl with the message for July 2019. Wow, you guys. Let me start always by thanking you all for being here, for subscribing, for liking, for sharing, for your comments, your questions. Those of you who have reached out for sessions, for readings, healing, spiritual guidance. Oh, you guys, wow. And thank you for those of you who support me on Patreon. For those of you who are new to the tribe, I do an extensive amount of extra services over on Patreon. Weekly readings, healing meditations, things like that, light language stuff. So those of you who aren't familiar with Patreon, please go over and check that out if you are interested or so guided. And I want to thank you all for always supporting me and being here with me. Okay, you guys, holy cosmic fucking shit show. We have so much happening right now, energetically, astrologically. Normally, I would do this video reading Katie from Temple of Cosmic Astrology's report that she writes up for us. However, because of this amazing holy cosmic shit show that we are in, I have been unable to even look at any of my emails or anything to read her reports. So what I'm going to share with you is, we've got 6 planets in retrograde. We've got this new moon in Cancer tomorrow. We are beginning the eclipse season tomorrow on this new moon in Cancer with a total solar eclipse. This is all leading us through this eclipse season and into the Lion's Gate. Holy crap, do we have things to move and clear. So, this Cancer energy is a watery energy. It is all about the nurturing of ourselves, being good to ourselves, honoring our heart and soul. But right now, everything seems completely upended for so many of us. This retrograde period, again, retrogrades are a time for review, to review, reevaluate, reassess, rewind everything that we have been doing and fine-tune and tweak the parts of our journey, the parts of ourselves, the parts of our lives that need to be shifted still. And we have made tremendous shifts. I'll tell you, it was maybe like, I want to say maybe a week ago, maybe a little less. I felt us move through a very, very, again, it's like the birth canal or a funnel. We were funneled through and popped out the other side to a new and different chapter. I talked about this on Patreon in a video I did, but we have been literally pushed through into an entirely new phase, a new reality completely on this journey. This is uncharted territory. We are just rolling with it right now. So you guys, this is a time to be working toward creating our most authentic selves, okay? We are establishing peace, love, abundance, grace, joy, creativity, understanding, compassion, happiness in our lives. This is what this cosmic shitstorm is all about. This is the push for us to change on another whole level. We are moving beyond this timeline, okay? And into alignment with a timeline of freedom and joy. So we have to, no matter what it looks like that is going on in our world, know that spirit is moving us. So let me share a little bit about what is going on in my world and the experience that I am having and the things that have come up for me and the realizations that I have made. So some of you may know or not know, as far as my twin flame journey, my twin and I are in contact occasionally. He lives very close to me. If I reach out, he always messages me back, but he's not he doesn't take the initiative and whatever. And I had walked away a year ago and blah, blah, blah. And we've come back together and we're still doing this dance, which I don't have time for. Okay. I just don't have time because my world of just me has shifted so much. So I am in the process of selling my house and moving. Where I am going, I truly and honestly have not even a clue. I don't know if I'm staying local, if I'm leaving the state, if I'm leaving the country. I don't know. Spirit has a plan for me, and as scary as that may be, and it is at times, you guys, truly terrifying, I am sinking in to my full faith that Spirit is going to put me exactly where I need to go at exactly the right time. I know that I have done everything that has been asked of me on this journey, and I am being led to a new direction, a new place. I am being liberated and freed from things that I have had to, that were sacrifices that I have had to make in my life. And I am now being freed of all of my burdens by having this opportunity that was forced upon me by Spirit, because, you know, God forbid we do things the easy way sometimes. But Spirit basically said, this is what's happening. We have now put you in this position, and this has to happen now. So I am surrendering to the process of that and trusting that I will be provided for. I know I will be provided for, because Spirit wants nothing more for us than for us to have a life full of grace and love and all of these beautiful things that I've explained to you. Now, where does this fit in with our beloved, with our twin flame? We are not together, he and I. He is with his karmic partner still and doing his life. I have no idea personally what is actually happening in his world. And honestly, it doesn't even matter. His journey is his journey. That doesn't change how I feel about him. Do I love him? I totally love him. But I respect and honor him as well as myself enough to know that everything that is happening right now is for all of our highest good, okay? I am not holding on to the fact that I need my divine counterpart. What I have seen and with what is going on in my world, so let me just back up a little bit. So on top of the fact that I am trying to clean out a house that I have been in for 10 years with my 2.5 children, and all of this crap that I have, and getting rid of things and purging things, I am also been put in the position of taking care of my sick mom. And she has recently, unfortunately, fortunately, but has gotten herself in a situation where she is no longer able to take care of herself. And I have been needed to step up for her. We have sold her home, and I have been wrapping myself around not just taking care of my own stuff right now, but having to clear out my mother's home, which is over 35 years of accumulation of just shit. She is close to a hoarder, and I don't want to say that in a negative way, but she holds on to every little fucking thing. She throws nothing away. And so for the last week and a half, I have been, and another family member of mine and a dear friend of mine have been busting our asses to help her. And in the process, and I do it with honor and love. My mom and I, we've had issues in our relationship. I love her more than anything, and there's nothing that I wouldn't do for her. And I do this with honor to do for her. I want to help her be happy. I'm not sacrificing myself, but I am taking care of everything and myself at the same time. But in the process of all of this, yesterday, as I said, my mom is sick. My mom is very, very secretive and private about her personal life. She doesn't share, even with me, a lot of the things that are going on. She kept secrets. She told stories. She's hidden her medical condition from me. And now we are in this situation that is incredibly, incredibly stressful for her, where myself and a couple of other people in my family and a friend are trying to clear out 30 years, 35 plus years of stuff that she has been holding on to, not just physically, but emotionally attached to. And this is taking its toll on her health. So yesterday, when we were in the midst of literally tearing her house apart and just going through her stuff as quickly as possible, because unfortunately, due to the situation, we have been given literally less than 10 days to get everything she owns and her out of her home and into someplace else. And unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond my control, she can't live with me. So we have been dealing with all of this stuff in the midst of this. So it has been very stressful. And apparently I found out my mom has a heart condition. And I found out in a really hard way yesterday, because through all of this, my mother collapsed yesterday. And I had to call the paramedics, fire rescue, to come and treat her. And when they got there, she had come to. She was a little more conscious, but she wasn't doing well. And she was combative and belligerent and refused treatment from the paramedics who came. Now, I share this piece with you guys because those of you who know or don't know, my twin is a paramedic. He is and yesterday when this happened, and he lives very close to my mother's home, very close, and when this happened and she collapsed, I immediately wanted nothing more than for him to be there, to be able to help me and help her. Unfortunately, due to the circumstances, me messaging him under that sort of situation would not have turned out in the way I would have desired it to turn out. I knew that. I know that, he would have been able to make one phone call for me, and she would have been able to receive a little bit of treatment and been stabilized without having to go to the hospital. But because they wanted to take her to the hospital, she refused, and she just wouldn't go, and she made them leave. But anyway, so my point of sharing this is, so I was going through this experience yesterday. Even though I had a friend there and a family member there, basically alone, because I felt that I needed him to help me. And I felt very abandoned and alone by that. But what I realized was, once I took a moment, gained my composure, and started working with the paramedics that were there, realized that him not being available to me was a true blessing. It really was. And I wasn't angry, and I wasn't feeling abandoned, and I wasn't hurt, because it required me to step up, to take control, and to be strong in a way that I haven't had to do before. And for that, I am so grateful. In addition to all of this, as I said, I'm going through my own stuff with my own house and packing and purging crap and this and that and trying to figure out what's happening in my world. And when my stuff started, I had reached out to my twin, and he was very open and very receptive, and yes, we'll talk, I'll come over, we'll talk about what you need to do, and I needed his advice about some things. And of course, this has not happened yet, and this conversation has been promised now for several months, and it still hasn't happened. And I, through all of this experience, I am not holding him accountable for this. Because this is, this is a blessing. The fact that he is not involved in all of this is only making me realize how strong I truly am, how capable I truly am, and is building me up. As exhausting, as frustrating, as sad at times, as terrifying at times, as all of these things that are happening in my life are, I have learned through this experience that I can do this. So what I want to address is the fact of holding things against our beloved and understanding their role for us. Because many people would get pissed. Somebody promises to call you. They say they're your friend and that they care about you and that you're you need their help and it's really important. You make time for that shit for people. Well, that's not what's happening, right? And in all of this, and I realize that this is a gift. Him not being here to help bail me out or support me in this is just helping me transform and become stronger on my own. And I didn't realize, I know that I am very capable of many things. But in this last 3 days, I have come to realize how much stronger, how much more capable, and how powerful I truly am. So I share this because I want to explain that on the 3D level, okay? Now follow me here, guys, okay? On the 3D level, not knowing anything or understanding anything else about the 5D and the journey and the higher purposes of things, yes, everything that's going on looks terrifying, bad, and it looks like he's being a jerk, okay? However, his higher self knows. His soul, his 5D him, is giving me this gift to empower me, okay? Anything that is happening, and I know some people have reached out to me over the course of the last, few days, and shit is crumbling and people are dying and people are losing jobs and other people are getting new jobs. Like, everybody is having this significant transformative energy around them. And this is a time to be blessed in that, okay? We are being freed. We are being liberated in this process, okay? This is our time to shine. And it has nothing to do with our beloved. We don't need them to do this. And it's not out of anger, and it's not out of anything. I respect and honor this process. And I'm asking you all to start looking at the situation with your beloved in this way, understanding that until we are whole in ourselves, there won't be union because we have so much that we still have to create in our world. And we are working together, energetically working together, supporting each other. Just because it's not in the physical world, whether he is aware of it or not, he is giving me the most beautiful gift ever. Okay? Now, I also want to share for some of you who are on Patreon who remember back a while ago, I think I did a video for you guys about my curveball that came in and a soulmate that popped up in my life back a while ago. Those of you who haven't seen the video, head on over to Patreon. You can check it out. But long story short, things went south very quickly. It was sour very quickly between me and this soulmate. What started out as this amazing, and it wasn't a romantic thing at all. But what started out as a reuniting of a very good friendship blew the fuck up within 5 or 6 days. And since then, as we started entering this retrograde period, ironically, I had 3 people from my past pop back up again. One of them being this guy. And now, this guy, this curveball in my whole process here, which kind of just was weird, basically stopped talking to me for no good reason. Well, for a good reason. His girlfriend was jealous of me and insecure and whatever for no good fucking reason, because I don't have any interest romantically in anybody at this time other than my beloved. But anyway, so what happened was this guy was having a bad time again in his relationship with his girlfriend, and once again attempted to reach out to me for help, and didn't ask how I was, didn't care what was going on in my world, or that he had, unfriended me and all of this crap. And he reached out to me just 4 days ago, and needed my support and blah, 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 blah. And at first I ignored the message when I got it. And I'm like, fuck this. You know what? I ain't got no time for this shit. Got no time for people who got no time for me. And then I realized that there was a very important lesson that I had to learn from this situation. And I decided the next day to message him and speak to him. And I spoke my truth. I stood up for myself, not in an angry, aggressive way, but I explained that how friends don't treat friends this way. And friends are transparent and honest with each other. And if you want to be my friend, then you be my friend and you step up and act like someone who's my friend. But if you don't, that's okay too. I wish you much love on your journey. And he had told me when we had hung out that he wanted to develop and grow and become a king for his future relationship or relationships or whatever is meant for him. And in that moment of him disrespecting me and our friendship, and by how he was treating me, I was able to openly and vulnerably express my feelings and how I was feeling because of the situation. I was also able to explain to him the things that were the lessons to come out of this for both of us, and how amazing and how beautiful this process was, and actually honor him and thank him for what he had taught me. Because, quite frankly, this conversation that I had with this guy was a precursor to the conversation that I'm going to be having eventually, when the time is right, with my counterpart, okay, with my beloved. And holding accountability for not just his actions, or inactions, but my own, okay? I was able to see where I put myself out there to someone who I expected was able to give back what I put out there. And this friend wasn't. And I was able to stand up for myself immediately and set the boundary. Well, fine, if you can't respect me, then so be it. I love you. I send you on your way with nothing but love and gratitude, and I'm going to go this way now. So I want you guys, and I hope this is making sense, you guys, because I know I'm kind of scattered, but we are being blessed right now with these gifts of growth and transformation. We are coming into our power, and this shit show is helping us get there. And so what else do I want to say about this? Is there anything else that I need to share about this? God, I feel like I've left out some stuff. But the reading aligns with this, you guys. So I've used a bunch of decks. It's not a big reading, not a long reading, but it's very to the point as to what we are doing. And I think more stuff's going to come up as I start talking about the cards. So we used today the Heal Yourself reading cards, the Dark Mirror, the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins, ouch, Whispers of Love, and Nature's Whispers. Okay, so where do we want to start, Spirit? Because it all kind of ties together and back through. So it's kind of like this weird loop. So let us start with, we are being brought back to what we love. Okay? This is what this blessing, this cosmic shit show is bringing us. It is actually bringing us back to the things that we love. The current situation is giving you an opportunity to reevaluate what you want. Reevaluate, retrograde, right? We're getting this opportunity again to fine-tune, to tweak everything, to dot the I's and cross the T's and file down the rough edges. This is what we're doing, you guys. We are being brought back to this place of love. We need to take this time to contemplate. Again, contemplation. Spend time alone, meditating upon what you truly desire. What is it that is going to bring you back to a place of love? And I'm not talking about love for your counterpart. I'm talking about love for you, for your life, for your own personal existence. Not with anybody else. Me, myself, and I, my divine masculine and feminine side, all united. What is going to make me happy? What is going to make you happy? And it's not contingent. Hear me. It is not contingent upon your counterpart at all. That doesn't mean that you are walking away, whatever, blah, 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 giving up, don't love them, are mad at them. There's none of that. This is you time to establish yourself, your power, your strength, okay? Now, what we're doing is we are healing. We are healing on so many deeper levels, okay? But this healing is bringing, it's like this collaborative healing that we are doing. We are not alone in this. This is a 21, which is a 3, and Spirit is showing me that this is me, myself, and I, my own holy trinity, the number 3, the power of 3 within me, within you, okay? So we are doing tremendous healing. We are healing huge amounts of sadness, letting this sadness go. See, here's the thing. When we have these feelings of sadness come up, We can't just bury them. We can't just lock the tears away. We can't just sweep it under the rug. We've got to go into it, to locate, to figure out, and to process where this sadness is truly coming from. Because quite honestly, you guys, if you sit down and you be honest and true with yourself, your sadness is not being created by your twin, especially if they're not in contact with you, okay? If they are not in or interested in being in your physical world on their own initiation of that, okay, then they don't want to be there right now. And that's okay. You don't want anybody in your world, okay, that doesn't want to be there. You don't want to chase. You don't want to run after people. You don't want to beg. You don't want to plead. Fuck that. That's all not empowering. That's the opposite, okay? This opportunity of them not being there isn't a dick move. It is truly their higher selves forcing us into alignment and into our own power. They're not being mean. They're not being jerks. If they're not in the picture, again, ain't nobody got time for that right now, right? We got no time. Focus on ourselves. What can we do for us? Our happiness is not contingent on anybody. Our fullness in our lives can't be contingent on anybody. It's us. It's our responsibility to create that inside our heart and our soul. Yes, it gets lonely at times. There's no doubt. We get tired. We don't want to do this work anymore by ourselves. But you know what? Until we get it down pat, smooth and right, we have to. And our twin is going to come in, pop in every now and then, trigger the fuck out of us, promise us, da-da-da-da-da-da, leave us hanging, see how we react, see how we respond. Push all that aside. This is your time for you. Okay? Now, part of healing this sadness that's really important, and I said as far as digging into it, going into this sadness, unless you go into it, you can't make the changes. And again, it's a 5. Change. You won't be able to make the changes you need to make to heal the things you need to heal. So you need to sink into it. You need to process through it. And in doing so, you claim responsibility for your part and your expectations and conditions and all of those other things that you didn't think were there to start with that are still there, okay? But when you do that, when you claim that, when you process through it, what ends up happening is your heart opens that much more. You clear out the crap and you make room for the love. You open up tremendously. Okay, so the next card we have with these cards, with the sadness, is part of what we are processing is coming back to, I said, authentic selves, right? I said in the beginning, I believe, that we are working toward creating our most authentic selves, establishing true alignment into these great lives, into the 5D. And we are dealing and working with this card, okay? And it is the child I was meant to be. We are coming back and evaluating who we are, coming back to who we were meant to be, okay? Going back, processing who we've become and who we were really supposed to be. We are remembering all of these things. And it is time to embrace, as she's embracing this plant, okay, this tiny little plant. It's this holding, Okay, so Spirit is speaking. Okay, so it's the number 8. Okay, so Spirit's kind of cutting me off here. This infinite loop of coming back to ourselves. That is what Spirit is showing us as the infinity symbol in this. Coming back to who we were supposed to be from the start. Our authentic selves. Okay? We are also dealing with tremendous amounts of feeling responsible. Okay, this is the fated to suffer card. And so many of, and I got this more strongly for the divine masculine. Okay, I'm going to say that now. The card of coming back to who we were meant to be, okay, I got more strongly for the feminine at this time. For the masculine, I got this fated to suffer card. So many of the masculine are feeling like they made their bed and they need to lie in it, and they are destined to suffer the consequences of their actions, of their upbringing, of the poison apple, if you can see, the poison apple that they have been fed all along. And that they have no power in getting out of this. That this is their destiny, is to just suffer with the choices they have made, because it doesn't look like there's any easy way to come out of that. And that's because there are issues with worthiness still. The divine masculine do not feel like they are worthy enough to deserve anything better than this bitter, poison, nasty fucking apple that they have been handed or have created as their own life, okay? Because it's not just them. This is society. This is religion. This is politics. This is all of the influences and the conditioning and the programming that they and we all have been burdened with, okay? A lot of the masculine do not feel worthy to break free of this, okay? So for them, this healing cycle is really about finding this worthiness in themselves. And it says, know that you deserve to receive good in all ways. Okay, we are learning this. This is what's being brought to our attention. We are eclipsing out, the eclipse season, eclipsing out whatever doesn't serve us and being brought into awareness. Spirit is saying the full moon, these things are being illuminated. Okay, all of those shadows, coming to terms with that they don't need. They are not fated to suffer. They are not to blame. We make our choices, we live with them, we move on, okay? We all deserve this. We all are worthy. And the masculine is finding this within themselves, as well as the feminine, in becoming who you are meant to be all along. You are worthy. You are worthy to be who you are meant to be divine, and to be light, and to be love. Okay, so now we have the next 3 cards. Synchronicity. Okay? Synchronicity is playing a role. We are aligned very much with our divine masculines, whether we believe it or not, whether you see it or not, whether you recognize it or not. Your masculine is your mirror, okay? And if you don't see it, you need to dig a little deeper, because we are aligned synchronistically with them. We are being led. Like I said in the beginning, I am trusting, I am surrendering to this process, because every time I see a sign, every time I see an angel number, every time I get a feather, I know that means I'm on my right path. I am on the right course. I am following where Spirit is leading me. So please be aware of the signs and synchronicities that are being brought to you. You see the dolphins? Spirit is saying, look at the dolphins. They're crossed over each other, right? You and your beloved, you're both doing this work. You're both seeing the signs. You are both aligned in this energy, okay? It says your prayers and questions are being answered by synchronistic events. Notice them in order to increase your flow. That's the most important part, you guys. You don't need to forcibly necessarily take control of things. Spirit's got the wheel right now, at least through this eclipse and Lion Gate season, okay? Spirit is directing you, directing all of us. If we allow the signs and the synchronicities to continue to guide our path, then you are increasing the flow to help that move quicker and get you to where you need to be in a quicker way, okay? Next, we have simplify your life, okay? And this is what we're being asked to do, okay? Me with getting rid of my house and clearing out all my stuff and selling everything I own. My mom, I have friends that are going through this same stuff that aren't even twins that are going through this stuff. This is a pressure cooker moment to simplify, to eliminate clutter from your home, your work, to balance, to bring simple balance back into your life. You're being asked to do this so you can liberate yourself. You can free yourself from anything that's keeping you from soaring. Burdens, responsibilities are being eliminated if you allow yourself to flow with this energy. And I know it's not easy. I am making it sound very easy. It is not easy. I know that. I am now in this very moment today at this second. I am super comfortable and super strong and super good with that. That doesn't mean 10 minutes from now when I finish this video, I don't fall to pieces and cry like a baby, okay? It gets scary sometimes. Of course it does. Our humanness takes over. Our fears get in the way. But we have to flow with this, you guys. This is our time of empowerment. Complete and total empowerment. How do you think we are going to do the huge jobs of mission that we need to do unless we are fully empowered? Okay? Can't help anybody else unless we get to where we all need to be. Not as just an individual, but as a collective. Okay? Remember, we all do this together. You're more powerful than you realize. It's safe for you to be powerful. It is safe for you to remember who you were meant to be. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful, you guys. You are being freed. You are being freed. So I did ask for one last message from the Divine Masculine to his counterpart, to the Divine Feminine, okay? Or her, whatever, gender, whatever. You guys know how that goes. So the Divine Masculine just wants forgiveness. Just wants you, the Divine Feminine, to understand they're not trying to hurt you. They're not trying to be assholes. They're not trying to pretend you don't exist. They're not trying, even though it may look that way in a 3D lens. Please understand, they want you to forgive them. They are doing a job that nobody wants to do, especially someone who loves you. And there's no point holding on to anger and resentment and any of those feelings, abandonment, rejection, whatever you have against your masculine. They're asking you to see this from a higher perspective, from the spiritual side of this journey. Get your heads out of your butt is what Spirit's saying. And remember, this is a spiritual journey to self. And we need to forgive. They are only doing their job to help us, to trigger us, to help us be who we're meant to be. That's it. Oh, you guys. So, I don't even know. Is there anything else, Spirit, that you need to share? Yes, okay. So we are currently receiving. I know I did 2 nights ago, 3 nights ago, received some very significant downloads. And I don't know even exactly what they were. I know they have to do with the heart chakra. I also know they have to do with transitioning something with the third eye and our crown into it's like clicking the switch up higher is what Spirit is showing me. It's tuning in our vibrational frequency higher. And these glyphs, I call them glyphs. Some of them resembled glyphs, some of them looked like light code, light language, writing light codes. I was not able to write them down to share them as of yet. I don't know if I will be able or am even supposed to do that. I know I am going to be doing a light language sort of activation for these codes that came through me to transmit them. I'm going to say transmission to those of you who are interested in that. I'm going to be doing that over on Patreon probably this week by the weekend. I will be posting that video there. Spirit has asked me to do a light language to help activate and transmit these codes. So I will be doing that sometime this week. So just keep your eyes on Patreon, you guys. For those of you who aren't on Patreon, if you're interested, you know where to go. The information is in the video below the box. I mean, in the box below the video. Oh my God, I can't even talk anymore. And I am here. I am here for you. Even with everything that is going on, I am keeping my appointments with my clients, and I am doing the things that we need to do for the collective as well as for ourselves. So those of you who need help, want readings, etc., shamamahuntingowl.com. What else? I don't even know, you guys. So I am going to end with this. I am sending you all so much love and light. So much gratitude and blessings, you guys. We've got this. Trust. So all I can say is just trust and believe. Hold on. Hold on to yourself. Focus on yourself and move forward. I love you all, and I will see you either on Patreon or in the beginning of August on YouTube. I love you guys, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.